And then we'll go ahead and get started. Jodi, if you want to flip to the next screen. I just want to take a minute to introduce myself. I'm Patti Cash. I'm the owner of Magic Cruises and Tours. I know many of you out there, and I'm happy that you're with us today. We're with us, Marcia Forsey is with us online as well. She's going to be watching that chat box. If there's any questions along the way, go ahead and type in there. We'll hope to get back to those before the end of the presentation or shortly thereafter. Certainly by tomorrow, we'll get back to you. We also have with us Jodi Danyluk, who we're grateful to have with us on our team with Oceania Cruises. And we'll be hearing from Jodi. She's going to share a lot about Oceania Cruises and what makes them unique and really wonderful, wonderful vacation product. So we'll be going into more detail about that this afternoon. But as a reminder, I just wanted to let you guys know that, again, we are located right in downtown Worthington. You can see our little office on the next slide. Jodi, there you go. There we are. Woohoo! Right in the heart of downtown Worthington, which is right in central Ohio. We've been located here for 33 years, guys. It's 1988 we started this little business here in downtown Worthington, my mom and I, and we quickly got a wonderful group of a great team of travel counselors that are extremely experienced and in planning your vacations. So we take a lot of pride in what we do. And you know, I dare say I speak for all of us, that we appreciate your friendship, we appreciate your business, we appreciate your loyalty over all these years. So again, thank you for joining us today. We like to think of ourselves as your vacation people, right? You got people now. So allow us to help you with whatever your vacations, wherever they might lead you. We do represent a lot of different cruise lines and a lot of different tour operators, but we kind of take good pride in knowing the standards and setting high standards for our partners that we work with, and being sure that we're going to send back guests that are extremely satisfied and over the moon on their vacations. So we're very pleased today to be working with Oceania Cruises as one of the top vendors that we have the privilege of working with. And so with that, I'd like to tell you one quick little secret before we turn it over to Jodi. We've been planning behind the scenes for what's coming next. Well, our 35th anniversary at Magic Cruises is coming in just a mere couple years. 2023, we'll be celebrating our 35th anniversary at Magic Cruises and Tours. And some of you may have traveled with us before, but we like to do some of these anniversary cruises to share the trip with you all, and myself included, or any of the other staff here at Magic, and do some fun, special things on board, make it really a neat, memorable trip. And so this is hot off the press. We don't even have the details carved in stone yet, but I thought I would just let you know that this is coming down the pike. It is available to book right now. And later in the presentation, we'll tell you about some of the special offers that we have. But spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you right now that if you book on this trip with us between now and middle part of November, I believe, we're going to be able to give you both prepaid gratuities and also an extra $200 shipboard credit. So think about this as we're moving through the presentation, but there's a lot to choose from. So certainly take your pick. There's a lot of different itineraries and different ships that we're going to look at with Oceania Cruises. So Jodi, why don't I turn it over to you, my friend, and lead the way so we can introduce folks there. I know that there was a handful of people that had registered that had been on Oceania Cruises, but the vast majority had not been, have not traveled with Oceania. So I'd like to take a little bit of time to explain what this is to them and what makes you unique.
Thank you, Patti. And all of the magical ladies, and also everyone that has joined the call and those that will get a recording. I have been working with Magic Cruises for a couple of years now, and I have to tell you that you've made the best decision to join the Zoom call, to partner with them, because they are exceptional. And I work with many different partners throughout Mid-Atlantic and Midwest region, and they're just one of my favorites. And so I just love working with them, and I know that you do as well. And so, yes, I'm Jodi and Danyluk. I've been with Oceania Cruises for many years. I absolutely love our product, Upper Premium, and I will tell you that I am an Oceania guest as well, because I love the pillars of distinction. I love the small ship luxury. I love the exquisitely crafted cuisine, and I love the curated travel experiences. And when we started the company, I think it's over 19 years ago now, the co-founders, Mr. Del Rio and Mr. Binder, and the small team that started the company wanted to design a cruise and deliver an experience that few were even focusing on. And yes, now more than ever, our small ships is what people are gravitating towards. You always want to have the finest cuisine at sea. And then, of course, you want to be able to gobble that region up. And it's by design that we've created these amazing itineraries so that you can get off the ship and just immerse yourself in that region. So these are the three pillars of distinction. They've been our pillars of distinction from day one, and we've never reinvented ourselves. So we're going to start with the small ship luxury. You might be thinking, Jodi, you know, I've never sailed on Oceania before. So where do you measure up with those wonderful preferred suppliers that Magic Cruises also works with? Well, you can see from this slide, our two classes of ships are there at the bottom. That's how small and luxurious they are. The Oceania Cruises Regatta class is the Regatta, Nautica, Insignia, and Serena. 684 guests, so that's just a little over 300 suites and staterooms. And look at how the gross tonnage, 32,277. That really is small and luxurious. And then the O class, which is the Marina and the Riviera, 66,000 gross ton, 1,250 guests, a little over 600 suites and staterooms. So now you can see just how we measure up to the other lines that you have sailed on. And then the Regatta class, as I mentioned, look at the impressive guest to staff ratio, and look how beautiful the grand staircase is. Think about walking on board the ship, the very beginning of your voyage, and this is what you are going to be spending your time as you explore all the wonderful ports of call. The Oceania class is the Marina and the Riviera. Again, a little bit larger, recently re-inspired, just like the R class. And again, a very impressive guest to staff ratio. The ship that Patti is going to be sailing with the 35th anniversary is the Riviera. So she's in the Oceania class. And then our new class, our new ship, the Vista class, we just went on sale September 15. Her inaugural voyage is April 2023. Her gross tonnage is a little bit larger than the Marina and the Riviera, but take a look at the guest capacity, 1,200. That is 50 less than the Marina and the Riviera. So we're going to take that extra space and create more venues on board the ships for you and our other guests. The staff size is 800. 400 is dedicated just to the culinary. And so that is one of the reasons why we continue to win the finest cuisine at sea, because of the focus that we have on our guests and in the culinary. On board, by design, we created a residential feel. Our guests are coming on board. A minimum sailing is 7. We have all the way up to 180 day around the world. And I just want to share with all of you that are listening that when we just opened up our Around the World in the beginning of this year, over a third extended their around the world journey to over 200 days. And so what's important about that is that we know the guests, when they get on board, they want to relax and feel at home. And that's why we have created this residential design. You'll notice in the images that it's intimate areas for gathering in seats of 2 and 4. The upper right-hand corner is on the O class, and it really looks like someone's living room, right? And then of course the grand staircase that you see in the upper left is the Vista, the new grand staircase. So she's going to have a completely different look than the grand staircase that you saw behind my face. The Vista colors are the gold and the cream with more shimmer and light. And take a look with the glistening floor to ceiling pillar of crystal and light in the Vista. The upper right, the O class, the R class are colors of Santorini. So you're going to have your blues and your creams and your golds, of course. So between the Vista and the rest of our ship, they're very soft, they're very elegant, they're very comfortable. Our accommodations are also beautifully appointed, and you can see by the colors on these on this slide that it is the Regatta class and the Oceania class because of the blue and the cream and the gold. The penthouse suite is one of our most popular because it's very spacious, but it's not the largest suite. It has a very spacious veranda, a walk-in closet. When the ships were re-inspired, the largest transformation were all of the suites and staterooms as well as the bathrooms. So take a look at that new bathroom design, the Bulgari toiletry amenities that the guests can choose from, and all of the bedding, regardless of the accommodation, is our exclusive Tranquility bedding because Mr. Binder wanted to create the perfect night's sleep for our guests. Now you'll notice the veranda stateroom and the concierge on our ships are the same size, but the difference is the amenities, the features, the benefits that you get by a minimal upgrade per guest per day. So by just booking from a veranda to the least expensive concierge, you get the ability to make your dining further out. You get the concierge lounge. And if you're on an R class where we don't have a concierge lounge, you have the concierge services. You get complimentary access into the spa terrace. And there's more. But you will find the value from day one and will really appreciate that upgrade. On the Vista, you can tell completely different color. So you are on the Vista right now with very spacious accommodations and larger because the ship has less staterooms, but larger. We created more space in the accommodations. A new bathroom design, more storage, more light, more glass, just so beautiful. And again, a residential feel and look. Our Oceania suites are on the Marina and the Riviera, as well as the Vista, 1,000 to 1,200 square feet in size with a whole new look and feel. But we have the Oceania suite on the Marina and Riviera as well. Our Vista suite is on every one of our ships, all 3 different classes. And the Vista suite on the Vista is 1,450 to 1,850 square feet in size. Look at the spacious bathroom. Look at the soaking tub. The Vista suite is also the category that has a second bedroom or a studio. And our owner suite is the Grand Suite, and that is on every one of our ships across our entire fleet. It will vary in the square footage. The Vista is 2,500 square feet. Now, some of these accommodations will have the connecting room, and that is nice for those that are traveling with families. That's another trend that we are seeing is not just the longer voyages, but the generational families traveling together. And something that is brand new on the Vista The Vista is now boasting 2 new categories. Besides the ship being completely verandas, so there's no inside or ocean view, so every accommodation is going to have a veranda, but the Vista now has a concierge solo veranda. So the solo guest will be able to enjoy a separate sleeping area, a separate sitting area, and a veranda. But also notice that it's a concierge level, so the solo guest will be able to enjoy the concierge lounge and the complimentary access to spa terrace. The second accommodation is a French veranda, and that's in the B category, B5, and the guests will be able to open up the sliding glass door, but the guest cannot access. There's no walk out access onto the veranda. And we do have some ADA compliant in that category, which I think is really nice.
Hey, Jodi.
Yes, Patti.
Before you go any further, I just want to take a moment to tell folks that are listening on this. The Vista looks great and it is amazing, but I'm going to tell you that if you want to get on for 2023 and beyond, we need to act quickly, because when it came out to sell in September, didn't you guys sell out the first several voyages already? We can't get space on it, or
many. And I'm glad you jumped in, Patti, because that is so important. Many of our past guests were waiting at 9 a.m. when she went on sale at September 15. We also took an impressive high percentage of new to brand because they're wanting to experience Oceania and a new ship and a small luxury ship. But because we had that curated travel experience as a third pillar, the itineraries are so incredible that many of them, to your point, sold out. Many of the suites, high-end suites, sold out. Now, there are still several itineraries that are available, and we will definitely go into that when we get to the curated travel experience section. But when you see these itineraries, you'll understand why they went so fast. But yes, by all means, if you're looking for 2023 and you want that beautiful, spectacular new ship, you do have to act quickly. The curated art collection is something that I love, and while we were waiting to start, you saw that beautiful grand staircase on the Riviera. That's just a portion of the amazing artwork that you will enjoy when you're sailing. Our co-founders are the curators of many of the pieces of art. When the marina was being built, they went to the shipyard. Mr. Del Rio took an empty suitcase, and in it had fabric samplings and artist renditions and architectural designs. And knowing they had an idea in mind exactly for that wall or for that table or for that restaurant, and they traveled throughout the globe and acquired pieces of art that are museum quality. And so it is so spectacular. Guests enjoy doing an art tour while they have some quiet time on board the ship or at sea. On all of our ships, we have the Aquamar Spa and Vitality Center, which is where we have wonderful treatments and the best technicians. We are adding the barber shop on the Vista, so that will be great. We also have spa terraces on all of our ships, which is the complimentary area for concierge and above, but the lower two are the new spa terrace on the Vista. So again, we took advantage of that extra space, and we reimagined what our guests are familiar with. And you can see just how lovely and appealing this area will be. If you are in a veranda and below, it's a $25 per person per day entrance. And that's why I pointed out that you will see that value on day one, because just by upgrading a little bit per person per day, this is complimentary to you. And then, of course, our pool deck is always very popular. Our ships sail in the region at the best time of year. And so many of the guests will enjoy that day at sea. We have very few, but this is an area where they love to enjoy. And on the Vista, we took advantage of that extra space and created a beach cabana atmosphere. All of our ships have the state-of-the-art fitness center, and oftentimes I hear, how utilized is this really? Your clientele is older and more mature, but don't get me wrong, we want to stay well. We want to stay active. We want to stay healthy. Why? Because we want to continue to travel. So this is an area that many of our guests will frequent when they have the time. All of our ships have Horizons Lounge, which is in the upper right hand, and this is where we have the amazing popular afternoon tea served every day at 4. This is where we have the spectacular view from port to starboard, floor to ceiling, sun up to late at night, wonderful talent, great bar, great lecturers. And then you can see the Monte Carlo style casino on board. And it's just a great area for guests to enjoy. But we also have a theater. We also have a library, which a lot of the guests enjoy, especially if they're doing a back-to-back and they don't need to get off the ship and they can stay on board and enjoy the library or the concierge or executive lounge. And we also have so many other areas on board for you to enjoy when you're sailing. On board our Marina, Riviera, and Vista, we will have the Culinary Center. This is one of my favorite places. It is a cost. You book it in advance, but I love to cook. And you know what I found when I was on the Riviera? I'm not as good as I thought I was. I took a couple classes. I wasn't holding the knives the right way, the cutlery the right way. But I loved cooking and preparing these wonderful dishes where I was sailing to. So we offer several different types of classes, technique classes, which I probably should take. There's classes of our famous recipes that our guests always ask. And so these are classes where you can learn to cook some of our more popular dishes. But then there's also classes of the region that you're sailing in. And so it could be how to cook with lemons, some Asian cuisine, or Greek dishes, right? And so that just gives you an enhanced experience, not just in port, but now on board the ship. And on the Vista, we've now added the Culinary Center dining room. And this is another trend I mentioned that we are seeing, and that is group dining, generational families dining. So it's an opportunity if you want an extension of the Culinary Center, or if you want to bring your family on board. But we also have on the Vista other semi-private dining rooms in our signature steakhouse and in our authentic Italian restaurant. On the Marina and Riviera and the Vista, we will have Privé, which is in the upper left-hand corner. This is private. This is a charge that you can book in advance, and it's one flat fee, $300. That's it. It's not per person, it's per event. And when you get on board, our team will help you plan a special dinner, choosing items from different menus. And if it's a special occasion or family or whatever it might be, it's just really extra special. The upper right is perfect pairing because on our O class, Marina Riviera, we will have wine and food pairings, 7 course, many different menus to choose from. And we will also have 6 course Dom Perignon, champagne, and food pairings. And that is no place else in the world. So that is extra special. Patti, is there anything you want to add before we get to the exquisitely crafted cuisine?
I've been waiting for the cuisine because personally I'm hungry right now. I love your food.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some special events up there.
I think so too. And we will help you with that. So there is a gentleman in the upper right-hand corner who I absolutely adore, and his name is Jacques Pepin. And he's been a part of our family from day one. He's our executive culinary director. His daughter Claudine is now with us, and together they inspire our culinary team. He's responsible for every every specialty restaurant to have their own galley, equipped with Michelin star-rated equipment. He's responsible for directing our team to have the finest and freshest ingredients. He is a stickler for having nothing but the freshest. The team, the culinary team, goes into the local markets every day and port. They purchase the freshest spices, fresh seafood. We never freeze it. It's always local and fresh. The finest ingredients, the fruits, the vegetables, and they bring it back on board. And this is why we continue to win the finest cuisine at sea. The lobster is sourced from Nova Scotia. The lamb is sourced from New Zealand. And the flour that we use, we get from the Bius region in France, making the freshest baguettes and pastries. And it is just exceptional.
Makes a big difference. It's awesome.
It makes the best difference, doesn't it? Absolutely. And when you're touring and you come back on board, and whether you're dining in the grand dining room or the Terrace Cafe, which is the lower right-hand corner, which is casual, and you can choose indoor or outdoor, or an Asian restaurant, which is Red Ginger, you know that you're going to be served. There's no buffet. You don't handle our food. Everything is cooked to order, and everything is served with a beautiful presentation. Now, the Terrace Cafe, just think, and I'll talk more about this when I get to our curated travel experiences and the benefits of having the small luxury ships. But think about you dining out back, and Monte Carlo is your background, right? Under the stars. Just doesn't get any better than that. And everything is cooked to order, and you are served.
Hey, Jodi.
Yes.
Before you go on, we see the photograph of the handsome gentleman in his jacket and the lady in a pretty dress. Can you just talk a little bit about the fact that no jackets are required? And it's
correct. Well, you know, we're not going to see tuxes. We're not going to see gowns. You're not going to see ties worn or jackets. It's country club casual. It's country club casual. And my husband would look so handsome in a golf shirt and nice pants. And that's really the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. The grand dining room is on board every one of our ships. I'm showing the vista in the upper right. And again, go back to the beginning where I talked about the small little areas. So this is going to be where most of the guests, all of our dining rooms will range anywhere from 90, 100, and then the grand dining room is the largest of all, the grandest of all. But still, with this design, you can see that we're trying to still create that small, intimate space. The Terrace Cafe on the lower left, the inside is just as enjoyable as the outside. And Waves Grill is adjacent to the pool deck. So this is where you can come on board after touring and get a quick bite, or you're enjoying the pool all day. And everything is cooked to order, and it's great comfort food. We have our Polo Grill, which is where we have our most notably the beef dishes, all of which are 28-day dry age certified Black Angus and succulent seafood dishes. We've got our Toscana on our ships, which is our authentic Italian, where our team is creating authentic menus from their families back home. And then Red Ginger, which is many different types of Asian dishes, which is a popular of many of our guests. But on the Vista, we have two new restaurants. We've got Aquamar Kitchen, which is the top left. And this is whether you're a flexitarian or a diehard foodie, Aquamar Kitchen offers an abundance of indulgence with none of the guilt. Ember, which is our new signature restaurant, is going to highlight dishes from America that in an open style kitchen with featuring a Hollywood Cobb salad from the West Coast, crab cakes from the Eastern Shores, and delicious dishes in between the East and West. And then, of course, we have a new bakery that is the lower right that is going to accompany baristas, which is where we have our specialty coffees and teas at no charge. And then, of course, we anticipate many of our past guests wanting to return and enjoy maybe more time in their ultimate sanctuary. And so behind the scenes, we've been enhancing our room service menu to offer hot items for breakfast, lunch, and dinner served.
Love room service.
I do too. Our curated travel experiences as our third pillar, and this is another area where we shine, but this is where we attract the new to brand. So our past guests know that they're going to have the wonderful service from our crew, and they know they're going to get the finest cuisine, and they know they're going to get the luxury ships and accommodations, and they know that they're going to be able to gobble up that region. But the new to brand, they're not accustomed to our brand and the experience, and this is where Magic Cruises comes into play, because most of the time the guests will want a particular area or a typical or an expectation of an experience, of an adventure, something new, something different. And this is where they will show you the way and show you the different itineraries and experiences that you can enjoy. So we talked about the small ships, and where there's an advantage is the boutique and marquee ports of call that the larger ships can't get into. But we take it even further. We have early arrival, late night departures by design. It's a peeve of Mr. Del Rio to tease the guests with a couple of hours and board and you sail away. That's not our way. We have more overnights. So we will have 3 days in St. George's and 2 days in Hamilton. And that is so unique in Bermuda these days. We have 3 nights in St. Petersburg to allow you to get to Moscow. And so we have more nights in Jerusalem where you can really have that spiritual journey. We also have overland tours, and this is where many of these tours, there's over 30 in every region, not 30 per region, but 30 plus across all regions, that will be a land bucket list, such as Machu Picchu, or the Great Wall of China and terracotta soldiers, or Cappadocia, or the Taj Mahal, or an African safari. We add these overland tours so that you can disembark the ship, add that more immersive land adventure, and join the ship a couple days later. But we also have other types of experiences for those that love that culinary center and that culinary experience. You can book a culinary discovery tour where you will get off the ship with the chef, go into a local market, buy ingredients, and either come back on and cook it in the culinary center or enjoy it in a farm or a local home. Go local tours are the smaller tours that we created several years ago, where you might want to cycle in Amsterdam, or sheep herd in Balboa, Spain, or truffle hunt in Croatia, or wellness discovery tours by Aquamar, where you might want to enjoy Tai Chi or yoga on an island off Dubrovnik. We have food and wine trail tours, evening excursions such as a ballet in St. Petersburg or White Night display, which is spectacular, and Oceania exclusive, which is where we have something that is exclusive to Oceania. And one of those examples that we had designed for 2021, but we're moving it to 2022, is an event with Bocelli at his estate, and a performance and dinner. And so that's an example of an Oceania exclusive. We have Oceania Select and Executive Collection, and we have our Oceania Standard Tours, which I'll talk about in the value section. Now, a little bit about the Vista and her spectacular itineraries. This is an example of our itinerary planning. It's a 14-day, and look at the port intensive itinerary from Lisbon to Venice. May 6, 2023. Look at all of the different flavors, all of the different countries. The Greek Isle Odyssey, we have Athens to Istanbul in 10 days, and even some of the mainland and some of the really boutique islands that we are visiting. We have the Autumn Vistas, so she will be returning to North America, where she will be sailing New York to Montreal 11 day. And we will have her inaugural Panama Canal full transit, Miami to Los Angeles, and take a look at all of the places that you could choose to sail to. Our 2023 collection, Europe and North America, just went on sale October 6th. And we have 7 to 56 day in length, offering 179 itineraries and 269 ports of call. And for the first time, we're sailing Canada and New England from Boston to Montreal. Our new ports of call, for those of you that may not know, but every time we open up a new collection, number one, that's our busy season because everyone wants to book that suite and get in that sailing on day one. But the other reason is because we always introduce new ports of call, and that is what creates brand new itineraries that they've never been to. So in this collection, we included Eastport, Maine, Lipari, Kalundborg, which is in Denmark, Torbay, Oban, which is Scotland, Nordfjordein, Norway, Runavi on the Faroe Islands, Limnos, Greece, and Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So think about all those wonderful itineraries. Now I'm showing you an example of a grand voyage because many of our guests are booking multiple voyages. And this is a Stockholm to London 20 day on the marina. Look at all the places that the guests will be able to enjoy. But I'm going to show you one portion. That is the first portion, the Stockholm to Oslo 10 day. And you can see in comparison to a 10 day with almost twice as many guests, 2 more ports, 1 overnight, 2 less sea days, and look at 23 more hours in port. So that is the Oceania difference. You'll also see another example of Iceland to Scotland, and this features Runavi, which is one of those new ports of call, 12 day on the Riviera. Compare it to a premium line of double the guests, even 2 more days. We've 1 more port, 1 more overnight, 1 more evening departure, 0 sea days, and over 20, almost 30, well, yeah, hours in port, 29. The last part is the ultimate value. Now there is a question in chat. Oh, okay, sorry. All right, ultimate value. And this is what our Oceania value package is. The Midnight Blue is our O-Life choice, and this is on every single itinerary. Round trip air from first tier city and free airport transfers. If it's a second tier, it's just a minimal difference and you get the free airport transfers. And you choose one of the 3, free standard shore excursions or the beverage package, which is beer, wine, glasses of champagne, lunch and dinner in our restaurant. That's a $39.95 per person value per day, or free shipboard credit. So you might be wondering, Jodi, how much shipboard credit do I get on a 10 day, or how many free standard shore excursions? And so it will vary based on the length of the cruise. So for shorter cruises, it's $400 shipboard credit per stateroom, or 4 standard shore excursions, 2 for guest 1, 2 for guest 2. And then it jumps to 6 to 8 to 12, etc. So the longer your voyage, the more you get in credit or standard shore excursions. Now, I will tell you the number 1 value, the greatest value is the standard shore excursions. And we base it off of an average to calculate of 199 for a standard tour. So you can see where that is the greater value. There's so many to choose from in every single port. But if you like your mimosa in the morning and you want your scotch at night, we do have Prestige Select beverage package that you can purchase on board and have an inclusive drink package. You can see down below what is always included: our internet, all of our specialty restaurants, room service, shuttles from port to city center, our fitness classes, including Pilates and yoga on board the ship, our still and sparkling Vero water. In fact, every one of your stateroom and suites has a refrigerator, and we replenish all your soft drinks that you would like, or your water. And then we have our free laundrette, so you can pack less. Now, Patti, I don't know if you want to talk about your magic bonus offers.
Yeah, thank you, Jodi. Yeah, and we will walk each of you through the O-Life choice options and help you identify what makes the most sense. You know, what's your priority to help you select the right way to go. So there's a lot of details there, but it's a wonderful program, and it does add a lot of enhancements to your vacation with very, very little cost involved. So we're here to help you every step of the way. But because we're doing this special presentation with Jodi and sharing it with our clients, we do have a $200 bonus shipboard credit for anybody booking between today and November 17th for veranda staterooms and above. Again, ask us about veranda staterooms versus concierge class, okay? And then on a whole wide list of other sailings, select sailings we're calling them, we have programs where we can offer you prepaid gratuities, which, for example, for concierge and below, I believe it's like $16 per person per day. So on a 10-day cruise, that's $160 per person value. So prepaid gratuities, or even some sailings that are what we call distinctive voyages, where there's enhancements, different amenities from, you know, special party on board to a hosted exclusive like shore event, driver guides, you know, things like that really makes it even more special. So you want to ask us about all those details. You know, if you're interested in more detail on the 35th anniversary cruise with Magic, I can tell you that you know, just to give you an idea on pricing for a veranda stateroom with no airfare, because we don't know if people are going to want to go over early and do some other things or come back late. So we just give you a price with airfare not included, but with O-Life. So you can choose either the 2 free shore excursions, the beer and wine with lunch and dinner included, or an extra $200 shipboard credit. The veranda staterooms are running $25.99. The concierge class staterooms are starting at $28.49. So again, per person per day, not that much more for all those extra enhancements. And a penthouse, it would be $35.99. So that just gives you an idea out of the gate on what we're looking at for that special voyage in May of 23. But really, we just encourage you to, we can help you take a look at these different itineraries. You can page through these on your own. We do have electronic brochures that we can send out to your attention. You know, we like to sit down with you either in person. We're all vaccinated here. We take your safety very, very seriously, and we'd be happy to have an appointment with you, or make an appointment by phone or by Zoom, however you're comfortable. And we will walk you through every step of the way. I mean, that's part of our services here at Magic Cruises and Tours. And boy, we know that there's a lot of new protocols and a lot of new procedures and stuff to be aware of. In fact, that's one thing I will mention. You know, this pause has allowed many of the cruise lines, Oceania included, to really take a look at how they can streamline their whole processes for guests. And you can even do your lifeboat drill in advance. They send it out, the video in advance. It takes about 3 minutes. You watch that video And when you get on, you check with your steward or a certain representative, and they check you off that you've already done that. So no gathering together and everybody with their life jackets and all of that kind of stuff. You know, they're really trying to make things seamless and smooth sailing from beginning to end. And we've got a whole long list of different protocols and programs that Oceania has endorsed, and their standards are high.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Patti, because it is so important and a burning question of every one of our guests. Our entire crew is vaccinated. We require all the guests to be vaccinated. And so we really have created one of the safest environments we feel. And by streamlining the check-in, by doing the muster drill in advance, by your pre-cruise check-in must be done before you leave the United States so that it is seamless when you do arrive at the pier. And all these things were put into place as new protocols and new procedures to keep everyone safe and comfortable and alleviate that anxiety, right? And so we started sailing. Our first was the marina in August, and we have been with our team at the pier, making sure that everyone is getting on board safely and comfortably, and it's going very, very well. So we're really, really proud. It was months and months of getting to this point. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And there are some questions in the chat. I see the numbers, but I don't want to know if you want to streamline that, Patti.
Marcia, is there questions that could help the group, or are we just saying hi to each other?
We're just saying hi because some of the folks click through on my link. So so it says my name has my name instead of their name. So I wasn't sure who was in attendance. So I was asking who they are.
Again, be assured that we're going to send this out to everybody that registered. We appreciate you taking your time to share it with us this afternoon. Before long, we really hope we can start doing presentations in person because we miss you guys very, very much. So big hugs out there to everybody.
Thank you. I thank you for joining. And again, Patti and Marcia and the entire team, I thank you for your partnership. And I look forward to having all of you on board.
Yay. All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Jodi.
you. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.